Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the FC Dynamo Brest Cup 2017. We are here into the quarterfinals, and we are here for our last quarterfinal matchup of the quarterfinals, I guess, is the way to say it. My name is Hawker, here to bring you the action. We've got eL'quvet going up against aTTaX. Should certainly be a fairly good matchup, in my opinion. For this first map here, this was picked by eL'quvet on Inferno. And this, I think, is the one thing that eL'quvet kind of have going for them, is the fact that they are a fairly unknown team. Because in this sort of veto, aTTaX decided to first ban Mirage, because eL'quvet have been playing a fair amount of Mirage in the past. But eL'quvet have never played Inferno on the HLTV statistics, so that's something to watch out for here. It could be fairly difficult for aTTaX to know exactly how eL'quvet play this map. And aTTaX themselves don't have the best of records here on Inferno. I still think that aTTaX should be favoured in this one. However, I think there certainly is upset potential, especially as eL'quvet have shown us that individually, a couple of their players certainly have been able to step up in some of these games. Certainly, Dai has had a couple of very impressive performances. To be honest, the entire team on the eL'quvet side have certainly had their matches where they've looked okay. However, again, I still think that aTTaX should be favoured. I think I'm going to predict this one will go 2-1 in favour of aTTaX. But we'll have to wait and see if my prediction is correct. Of course, it is worth pointing out as well that aTTaX finished their group in 3rd place, whereas eL'quvet finished their group in 4th place. That's why these teams have been drawn against each other. And here we go. We are going to head underway into the first pistol round. And look at aTTaX. They're going to peek out mid and not spot any opponents, even going for the aggression second mid. And the flash is so good. 2 kills, 3 kills coming in. Tizian gets himself a quick double. And all of a sudden, before the round has even really started, eL'quvet are down and out. Just Hazing and Dai left alive. And that was an incredibly quick push coming out from aTTaX. You don't often see the aggression in towards apartments because you can be very exposed from multiple positions. However, aTTaX take the gamble and it works out for them. Very nice flashes from Hunden as well to set up his teammates. And there goes Stefan also opening up. It's going to be a very convincing pistol round for aTTaX unless Hazing has anything to say about it, but he cannot find a single kill. And so the mostly German side, and Hunden, the one Dane, will pick up the initial pistol. Heading into round 2, of course, aTTaX will get a couple of rifles alongside the SMGs. This is a very normal buy for aTTaX. Of course, it is worth pointing out as well, aTTaX do have Hunden as that in-game leader. And, at least in my opinion, he sets up all of his teams really solidly. Especially on the T side, his teams seem to have a fair amount of success. Sometimes aTTaX have struggled on the CT side in the past where they don't have as much individual skill. There goes Lazweka opening up with the Desert Eagle. eL'quvet, of course, have invested into this round, and you see the rifle was dropped. However, Hunden will use his utility to recover that M4. So eL'quvet will only get themselves a UMP if they can even find that UMP, because it's not been picked up just yet. aTTaX now will commit a second player to the B site, and yet again the flashbang's working out really well from Hunden. Not quite going to get the kill, but certainly a lot of damage done. Young does eventually pick up this UMP, peeks at the right time to take down Searson, who was waiting for the pop flash. In the meantime, Stefan finally opens up for aTTaX, but with 30 seconds left, the push is going to come through to the A bomb site. aTTaX still have a little bit of utility to slow things down, but it's all up to ECFN. He only gets the 2 kills. And so now Hunden will be forced to clutch this one for his team. And that A-site hold I thought was going to be good for aTTaX there. They had 2 players ready. They had the incendiary placed. And yet they still get overwhelmed. And so Hunden will make his way forwards, but he doesn't expect Sumdai Young to be so far pushed up. And so the mostly Russian team will get themselves the force buy. And that, as I was saying, is kind of, in my opinion, the risk that aTTaX have coming into this series. In my opinion, they don't have the most skilled individual players. They don't have anyone that really stands out as a star player. At least that's my assessment of the team. And if eL'quvet do just show up individually and continue to try and force those aim fights, that could be what they need to try and get themselves back into this series. Either way, aTTaX will go for the force buy themselves, and so eL'quvet do certainly have to be somewhat careful. We just saw eL'quvet themselves win with the pistols, so they should be aware of the threat of this force buy from aTTaX. Here comes the push. Oh, Kiss! Manages to find that frag there. Hunden, I thought, was going to have an easy kill for himself. However, Kiss barely even took any damage as he flipped back around for the quick headshot. And now Tizian on the B site itself only has 25 HP. The rotation hasn't come quickly enough, and so as eL'quvet make their way forwards, should be a fairly easy round for them at this point. See Tizian rattling off some shots with the Desert Eagle, but here comes Kiss, rushing him down, and eventually will get the kill. And that should pretty much put an end to this round in particular. Searson trying to push through while reloading. Not normally the best idea. A little bit of a sloppy fight towards Banana as ECFN realizes he should probably just back off and look to save the ump. ECFN will not be able to save all that easily though. You can see players pushing around him. Specifically, Hazing is already on A short. Looks like ECFN could catch Hazing in the back, but he's just going to sit in towards short. And in fact, the timing is going to mean ECFN will be safe because Hazing decided to push apartments, where ECFN was just holding from. So good sneaky play from ECFN to save the UMP, but it will only be the UMP for this round. Just taking a quick, brief look at the money, you can see that Searson has a lot more money than the rest of his team, so certainly expecting him to be saving for the AWP. There we go, nice jumping on Hunden's head there from Tizian. They're going to sack 5 towards Banana with ECFN ready to sort of bait his teammates that only have the USPs, and that's certainly a viable tactic when you only have the one gun. The Flash, though, gets themselves a quick kill. There goes Lazweka! How has he found 4 frags from that position? He must have just lined up all the players without the Kevlar. And so a big spray down secures the round for eL'quvet, despite looking a little bit worrying at the start of the round after that first kill came through. Lazweka recovers the position for eL'quvet to take a 3-1 scoreline. And now we will get to see both teams on a full buy, with Searson having the AWP alongside Dai having one for the T side of things. It looks like they both went out towards mid. I think Dai took a shot there, but just missed. Fight's coming down towards Banana, and it's Hunden who wins one of their fights, nearly finding a second kill there, as Dai takes a little bit of punishment. Down goes the smoke, and so Hunden will lock down Banana. However, that's not going to be important because the push is coming towards the A site. aTTaX do have 2 players holding, one of them being Stefan in towards Pit. And with the smokes being deployed, Hunden has already pushed out Banana, so aTTaX are 100% sure this is an A play. As I say that though, the bomb's making its way back, and Hunden is coming through for the aggression, pushing all the way down mid to find himself that frag. And now Hunden is just going to play things safe, making sure that Banana is clear. In the meantime, the push is coming in towards short. It's ECFN to open up with a headshot. Tries to fall back. However, Hazing is there to catch him on the flank. So Stefan has to delay things here to allow Hunden to get into position. Stefan, here's the steps, looking for the headshot. However, Hazing catches him off guard. And so it's Hunden left 1 on 2. He's already found 2 frags in the round. He's going to need 2 more to close this one. And it's just not going to be happening. Hazing himself is the man to get 4 frags for his team. So eL'quvet starting off strong here. A 4-1 lead. And aTTaX forced it back down to pistols. And as I was kind of saying earlier, if aTTaX can't hold their spots, if aTTaX can't win those opening fights, they could run the risk of having a tough CT side here. Kiss is going to open up at Banana. 2 easy kills. Oh, sorry, SumDieYoung did steal away that first kill. However, 2 kills for eL'quvet nonetheless. From this point onwards, the round should be incredibly simple. See eL'quvet just making sure there's no crazy stack towards the B site, which is certainly a possibility when you have these pistols. But Stefan will also go down, and so it looks like the round should pretty much be over. See eL'quvet using this spot high up on the site. Not going to lead to anything though. I do like this off angle from Searson. A lot of the time people don't check this corner still. And again, that will be the case. Oh my god, Searson gets a free knife kill, and the second frag makes it a third! Okay, Searson, a 1 versus 2 now, and I'm sure he will be thinking of the highlight clip. Both players are towards Banana, but without the kit, I don't think he can pull this one off. Still, a good effort and good damage dealt to the T-side economy. And again, people do not check that position anywhere near enough. And Searson continues to frag here. This is going to impact eL'quvet's economy. However, Searson, after such a great round, accidentally dies to the bomb. Shouldn't be too important though, because Searson will still be able to buy the AWP. Remember, he got that knife kill for the $1,500, as well as 3 further frags to get himself a lot more money into this round. So that's certainly nice for Searson into this one. And he's going to be AWPing over towards Banana, where we have seen eL'quvet put a fair bit of presence previously, and that will be the case again. The utility completely shuts down Searson on the push. He doesn't even get to rattle off any shots with that AWP before he goes down. And that's the risk of going for the Banana play on both sides. It's such a tight position that the nades can do so much damage and make such a big difference. And that is the case to start off this round. aTTaX will lose their AWPer. They will lose the man advantage. And they could be losing a 6th round here to eL'quvet, who have really come out all guns blazing here on Inferno. And again, as I was saying, eL'quvet have been very successful in finding those opening kills. And that's kind of what I was saying earlier, I think could be the issue for alternate aTTaX. If they don't win those opening fights, it's so much more difficult to hold off the push to the site. You can see Hunden there, so low on health, probably doesn't want to risk pushing the smoke. In the meantime, eL'quvet will be pushing the B site, and Hunden gets spammed down. Tizian sprays a couple, and he makes it 3. Finally, Dive finds the trade. However, it was certainly costly there for eL'quvet on the push. And it's back to a 2-on-2. Die doesn't hit the shot, and so he will go down. ECFN, though, does eventually get traded on. So now Stefan rotating over will have to win the 1v1. And what an important 1v1 this is for alternate aTTaX. After such a poor start for themselves, I'm sure they would love to win this round. However, it's not going to be happening. eL'quvet doesn't even go for the bomb plant. He just takes the fight and finds the headshot. And alternate aTTaX here with a fairly slow start. They will still have the buy into this round. However, if they lose this one, they will likely be pushed straight back down to pistols. And it might be worth taking a timeout somewhat soon here for alternate aTTaX. Hunden might want to switch something up with their CT-sided play, because so far, eL'quvet have been more than ready for anything that aTTaX have thrown at them. And let's be fair to eL'quvet, they have done a really good job at countering the aggressive plays that aTTaX have gone for. For example, when Searson peeked Banana, there were plenty of nades waiting for him to make sure he couldn't get anything done. And that looks fairly simple, but you still have to place those nades well. You still have to make the decision that you think there's going to be a peek coming through. So we've got to give props to eL'quvet. They've also done a fairly good job on the start of this round themselves. We are seeing this nice boost in towards Boiler, but in the meantime, we missed some action towards B because Kiss yet again finds an entry towards this bomb site. And yet again, it's only Tizian here to try and hold this off. He's playing from this fountain position, which I think is really powerful. It's fairly difficult to land the shots here, and you see Tizian already gets that opening kill. There goes the push, but there are two players waiting in Boiler, boosted up on top of each other. And so alternate attacks finally get a man advantage. And with Tizian holding off the B site push, eL'quvet will decide they want to focus their attention on that A bomb site. And with 22 seconds left, I think they will pretty much be forced to commit to the A site. Certainly could be successful though, with both CTs holding so passively. aTTaX just need to play the clock now. 10 seconds left. ECFN nearly finding the frag. There we go. Both players on the A-hole get a frag each. And Die, the last man alive, will indeed live up to his name as he dies off. And alternate attacks finally managed to put an end to the winning streak. That was 6 rounds in a row for eL'quvet. And aTTaX now will be looking to build off the back of winning that round into this 9th here. They will be still having the AWP for Searson, and this time he's got a good spawn to peek out towards mid. And that looks like it will be what he goes for. However, he won't spot anyone out. In fact, he's going to come out towards apartments, but the Molotov will deny any aggression. Ooh, Kiss taking some damage there from the flames. He's forced to jump forwards as he goes down to half HP. In the meantime, aTTaX have gone passive, boosting Hunden up in towards this flower pot position. I still don't know exactly what to call this spot. I still just call it flower pot. Makes sense. Searson's playing a bit safe with the AWP now after that Molly denied him any sort of aggression early on. And yet again, by the way, the Molotovs deny Searson from being able to force an opening fight where he maybe would be favoured with that AWP. So I've been fairly impressed with eL'quvet's utility usage because you see they still have plenty of nades left to go for an execute at the late stages of this round. Spray coming in, and Lazweka, with the help from the nade, lines up that opening frag on towards Tizian. Hunden now towards the B site is going to call from some assistance, but that is going to happen just as the push comes in towards A. And so ECFN alongside Stefan are going to have to hold off this A bomb site. 30 seconds left. Again, eL'quvet continue the slow play. However, this time they are going to push a little bit sooner. ECFN finds that opening, and Hunden gets a frag of his own towards the B bomb site, but still the A push coming in, and Stefan has to lock this down from pit. The bomb will be planted, but Stefan is still staying alive here. His presence could be very, very valuable for the rest of alternate attacks. Here comes a nade. Stefan taps off the head, and so it's all up to Kiss. He's stuck on the site, and he's stuck without a chance now that Stefan finds a second headshot. Really nicely played from Stefan there. He didn't play for the frags. He just played to stay alive, and that meant that eL'quvet had to focus on his position. And it looked like that also allowed Hunden to pounce as he found a frag towards A long. So alternate attacks finally finding their footing here on this CT side, especially as now they have forced eL'quvet down to a position where they could force buy, but it certainly would be fairly weak. And it looks like aTTaX did call for a technical pause earlier, but should be sorted out now. So here we go, back underway. Just want to point out again, this is something we see very often from aTTaX. Even spread of frags across the board. But in this round, Searson will already be opening up with that AWP towards mid. Finally finding a first frag with that sniper. In the meantime, the push is going to come towards the B site, but Tizian deploys the smoke. That's going to make things so easy on the hold. The spray coming in, Hunden dishes out a little bit more damage. And there's also Searson rotated over with the AWP. So it doesn't look like eL'quvet are going to have any success on the B play. Again, it was only pistols in this round from eL'quvet, of course. Here comes the peek. Searson gets that kill there. there was not too much of an angle to play with. However, he still finds himself the frag. And so Die and some Die Young are going to make their way back towards A. There are only 2 players on the site, but Searson is holding off this angle towards A long. And so if the bomb tries to cross in towards Arch, you would think that Searson would be able to find this frag most of the time. Spots out the man, misses the frag there. Some Die Young will live for a little bit longer as the push comes in. Searson could be in trouble. That is the AWP drop down. However, some Die Young is going to have plenty of players pushing towards him any second now. He's going to try and force the fight towards Library. Not such a terrible idea, and it's going to work out for him to find the second kill. So a little bit more damage done. He's going to make his way over towards B, and he would only need 1 frag to take this site. Should have spotted out Tizian on the site itself. Or sorry, yeah, Tizian on the site itself. However, Tizian will hold his position fairly easily. And so aTTaX finally getting themselves going on their CT side, as we were saying previously. However, eL'quvet still doing a decent amount of damage in that round, especially considering it was only some Die Young left alive. To find 2 kills there isn't so bad. And eL'quvet themselves will be straight back with a buy. Nade from Hunden could do some damage down mid. Just a tiny bit on towards some Die Young. In the meantime, I believe we have Searson boosted with the AWP, but the flash forces them off the angle. And so the banana hold, again, will be fairly safe from alternate attacks. Searson still waiting patiently. The smoke will come in, but it's a whiffed smoke. Searson could really hold down this bomb site now. That is a huge issue. You can already see Searson getting the opportunity for the frag, however he misses the shot. Flash comes in and Searson does not miss a second time. He will find that opening kill. And that's a pretty basic error there from eL'quvet. Failing the CT smoke, there's a slight gap at the far side. And Searson takes advantage of that for that opening frag. And now the rest of eL'quvet are eventually going to funnel into the B site. But Searson is still here with the AWP, missing the shots. Should get this kill. There we go. Does finally find a frag. A little bit awkward from Searson, whiffing a couple there. However, he still finds a triple kill alongside Tizian picking up 2 himself. And so the 2 players holding onto the B bomb site get all 5 frags between them. As for eL'quvet, they were trying to push through the CT smoke, I believe. However, Tizian was playing fairly aggressively and cutting that off before they could get themselves into that smoke. So again, fairly good round for alternate attacks, but here comes eL'quvet nearly taking down the AWP of Searson. But it's only a tag with the Desert Eagle. In the meantime, some players pushing in towards apps, and you can see ECFN is certainly aware of that. Just falling back, playing it safe, and finding that initial kill. Even if he does go down to 16 HP. Oh, eL'quvet lining up the Deagle shot. We'll get that 1 frag back. However, Tizian is in position to make sure that Hunden's death is not in vain. And you can see there, Hunden possibly a little bit frustrated, wondering why he died. And I'm sure Searson will be wondering why he died. Where has Kiss come from? 3 kills for Kiss. What the hell is going on in this round? I have no idea how Kiss was in that position, but he makes the most of it. Switching to that AWP straight away and finding 3 kills. I do wish Auto Director would have been on his perspective. However, either way, eL'quvet should be taking themselves the round here, because Tizian, I don't think, is even too interested in going for the retake on the A site. Tizian in towards apartments. Will be saving. And so eL'quvet managed to win a round that they had no right of coming out on top in. Mainly thanks to Kiss. I have no idea how he got into that position. I might have to look back at that one because he managed to find a knife, then the AWP, and 2 kills with said AWP to win eL'quvet the round. And so now alternate attacks will be back with a buy, but back with slightly weakened money. Of course, we are already into round 13, so the cash isn't as important. However, if attacks do lose this one, they are likely down to an eco. So the money is certainly still a factor. Ooh, Searson on the boost there. Nearly got the opening pick. In the meantime, attacks yet again will have 2 players stacked in towards Boiler. Ooh, nice nade from Tizian. Does a little bit of damage towards Kiss, down to 60 HP, but Sumdai Young through the flash gets himself the headshot to open things up. And now Searson with the AWP has to solo hold the B site, but he will be successful in doing so as he finds himself a quick kill. And there we go, attacks find themselves the man advantage thanks to yet again that boost working out their way. You see now eL'quvet were going to commit to the A play, but now they are having second thoughts. Lazoika, however, will commit to the push up top mid, while the rest of his team go back around towards Banana. .40 seconds left, and Searson is the only man anywhere near the B site. He needs a kill, and he's going to miss that opening shot, but there we go. He won't miss a second time. Finding the frag on towards Sumdai Young, and that just slows down the push from eL'quvet even further as he uses his utility to make sure his teammates can rotate over. Really well played by Searson to just make sure attacks were in position here. He's going to concede the bomb plant, but a 4v2 retake should still be good for attacks, especially with so much utility left. Dai peeks out, tries to force the fight. And I don't mind that from Dai at that point. Probably has to go for some sort of aggression, but Searson was ready for it. Oh, well, Lazoika does find 2 kills on the spray down. For a second there, I thought eL'quvet might have had a chance at the round. However, eventually the trade did come in. And as I was kind of saying earlier, not exactly a flashy play from Searson, but certainly was the right decision to just play fairly safe. After he got that first kill, he can just wait for his teammates to come and help him out. And so now, heading into round 14, this is actually a fairly important round at this point. Because even though we're almost at the end of this half, the loser of this round will have very little money. So this round, you could argue, almost counts for 2. This caster is good. Hey, thanks, Asterog. I'm so bad at pronouncing names. Trade down towards Banana. As Hunden gets himself that frag. He is going to call for the rotate over, so that means the A site is a little bit more vulnerable. And you can already see eL'quvet leaning a couple of players over to that A site. It's worth pointing out Kiss here could be in danger of some nades coming in towards him. Especially as Searson had the Molotov on the rotate. However, instead, he will just play things fairly safe. Searson, though, goes for the repeat. He does take damage from the molly, but there is another kill for his AWP. He's really started to find his form towards the end of this half. Here we go, Searson again gets another shot through. And so now, alternate attacks have themselves the man advantage and the bomb in towards CT spawn. Looks like they are going to play fairly safe and allow eL'quvet to get the bomb themselves. So Stefan is going to have to hold the A site here. Attacks are nowhere near the A site except for Stefan. Push comes in, Stefan trying to play things safe. Sumdai Young's going to go for the peek and Stefan needs this kill, but Hunden comes in to help his teammate. And so Hazing, the only man left, has 3 players to find, and Hunden will just swing into the open. I don't think Hunden needed to force that fight there. Hazing could have just won that one-on-one duel, and then they could have been in a bit of trouble. However, instead, attacks just come out on top. So it will be a 7-7 scoreline. Pronounce my name, Zashmatic. Should be good. broadcaster. My name is Hawker. You can see in the title of the stream, @Hawker_CS on Twitter. Quick plug. eL'quvet have the 1 AK alongside the 4 umps, but as I was saying, not the best of buys for the last round of the half, although Hunden nearly gets overwhelmed, finds himself a couple of shots, but not the kill on towards Kiss. So here comes Dai pushing with the ump, running and gunning with this SMG, and he just goes huge on the take towards the A site. I was not expecting Dai to find both those frags there, however, aTTaX fall apart. Tizian gets caught with terrible timing. Hazing pushes Library to extend the lead for eL'quvet. And Searson has to attempt the clutch in the last round of the half with just an AWP. Pretty much nothing to be done at this point. The flash is going to come through. He's going to look for a kill or two. eL'quvet already have the round won. And so eL'quvet will take 8 rounds on their T side. aTTaX did recover fairly well towards the end of that first half. And from what we've seen in the past from alternate attacks, as I've kind of been saying, I think Hunden as an in-game leader provides most to the team on the T side. At least that's certainly been the case on other maps. For example, on Train, aTTaX can get a lot of rounds on their T side, which isn't something you'll see from a lot of teams. So I'll be interested to see if aTTaX have a similar setup here on Inferno, because we really haven't seen too much of Inferno, from aTTaX so far. You got a new follower on Twitter? That's what I like to hear. That's what I need. Give me all those followers. Definitely worth discussing these pistol round buys, by the way. ECFN has a set of nades alongside Hunden. And ECFN not only has a set of nades, but he also has a kill to his name, as Dai goes peeking and ends up falling first. And so now aTTaX might just line up the A push here. The smoke's coming in, the flash is over the top. And aTTaX are going to make their way towards the site. The Glock running in, and Tizian will get the frag. That might just settle this round now, because eL'quvet are locked out of the site. Really nice nades over the top. The smoke comes in, and eL'quvet are on the outside looking in. Push comes out. Sumdai Young finds himself a quick kill. But they're going to need a little bit more than that to get themselves back into contention. Tizian is stuck on the site. However, again, ECFN's just in such a strong position to watch the bomb. Gets himself the 1 kill. Sumdai Young out in the open. Tizian should find this frag. And there we go. Swings back around to get himself a triple. And alternate attacks. Again, as I was saying, I think Hunden sets them up really well on the T side. And that was a fairly simple play with the 2 sets of nades pushing the A site. But the smokes were very well placed. You saw one going here, cutting off these 2 positions and just all pushing towards this area of the map. It's basic stuff. However, a lot of teams don't really know how to respond when those smokes come in, especially on the pistol rounds. You can't exactly try and spray through the smokes with a USP. And so aTTaX managed to isolate a couple of players on the site and take the round fairly convincingly. Kiss goes for the peek, and the CZ gets that opening headshot. Hunden did only have the UMP, so it's not a massive loss for aTTaX. However, a little bit strange to not see anyone really peek out to help Hunden there. Looked like it could have been a fairly easy kill if someone else went for the re-peek. Either way, aTTaX, after losing a fight towards the B site, will decide that A is going to be a much better bet for them. And that seems to be the case, because hazing in towards Pit gets full blinded by that flash, and that allows them to isolate Lazueka on the site. Very nice openings from Searson with that MAC-10. So with 2 kills alone, that MAC-10 has already paid for itself. As the rest of eL'quvet are coming somewhat towards the site, potentially just going to play for exit kills. But it seems like they will just save. I'm expecting them to save as well. Into the next round, they won't really have any investment, so saving these 3 weapons would be fairly nice. And also, it is worth pointing out, Kiss has a CZ alongside his ump. So that would be fairly useful to save, but Kiss goes pushing forwards, and he will not be able to save that UMP. UCFN could be in trouble, does die to the bomb, thanks to Kiss's efforts. However, still, I really don't think that was particularly worth it for Kiss there. T-side on this map, power, yeah. I think it's dependent on teams. Like, I think, in general, Inferno is fairly balanced. However, I think aTTaX specifically are a really good team on their T side. Mainly thanks to how Hunden sets them up. That's the main thing I think that's going to help aTTaX out here. Anyone else eating pizza? I wish I was eating pizza. Hello, can I ask you for your crosshair? I believe if you look up Waylander's crosshair, it should be Waylander's crosshair, just green instead of blue. Just going to come out. Die does get that incredibly quick headshot. He's still the only player on the B site, but Die doubles down, finding a second kill towards B. And you can see now, alternate aTTaX a little bit hesitant to commit to this push. Because for all they know, eL'quvet could have stacked heavily towards that B bomb site. aTTaX, though, will decide to creep their way forwards. Spray coming in. And Hunden will get that first frag, as does Stefan. So it looks like eL'quvet, despite having a decent start to the round, should still be losing out. Although here comes Sumdai Young finding a quick dink. A couple of players low on health, and Sumdai Young gets 2 kills with the peak on the CZ. All of a sudden, Hunden is the only man left. Goes for the peak, needs this first kill, but he doesn't find the frag. And so now Sumdai Young has an AK, as well as Lasweka. Here comes the push to the defuse coming in, and Sumdai Young finds a triple. eL'quvet managed to force the round their way. And those 2 kills from Sumdai Young were hugely important. Both players so low on health that he only needed a couple of bullets to take them both down. So we go back to an even scoreline, 9-9, with both teams on a full buy. What's your rank in CS? In MM, I am LEM. On ESEA, I'm B-. Don't know if that's good or not. Who knows? Flash coming out. Die. Holding off towards mid. Your prediction for this game? I said pre-game I'm expecting aTTaX to take it 2-1 in terms of the entire best of 3. But I certainly think Inferno is eL'quvet's best chance in terms of picking up a map. Alternate aTTaX leaning towards the A-bomb site. Die here, holding a strange angle with the AWP. Does back off in towards Graveyards. Gets the first shot, but now he's going to need to reposition. Though as I say that, he's just going to continue to hold the angle. Still finding frags is Die as he gets the third. Finally, the trade comes in. I was assuming he would just get mollied out of Graveyard there. That's why it's such a tough position to play. However, Die did manage to find 3 frags from that position before the trade kill came in. Either way, it's still a 2-on-2 thanks to Die's efforts. But Searson holding off towards short could be the key player. Such an easy kill. And so now Kiss is the only man left. 1 versus 2 with no utility. The flash comes in. Although ECFN should just play safe here and allow Searson to take the fight. And Searson's AWP yet again has the impact, finding those 2 frags. And for what it's worth, Searson has been playing very well on that AWP so far, up there at 20 kills. And I think he's been a huge part of alternate aTTaX being able to turn around that initial disadvantage they were at. Remember, they were 5-1 down. You are a very cool and good commentator. Oh, thanks, man. There's so much love in the chat today. Searson gets that entry. I believe that was an AWP, yeah, peeking out there from Sumdai Young, but he only got the leg shot. Searson's going to continue to hold mid. I believe he should have seen there that Hazing did pick up the AWP himself. There are a couple of guns here for eL'quvet. And But alternate aTTaX themselves are all grouped up around banana, so that looks like it will be where the push eventually comes in. Unfortunately for eL'quvet, it's just the two pistol players holding the B site. So they're going to be reliant on those Desert Eagles to hold this off. Just as I say that though, quick look at the map. Hazing is rotating over just before the push comes in. So if he gets here in time, that could be a huge difference in the round. However, already the entries come through. Again, good smokes over the top, and Hazing misses the shot, but he won't miss the second time with the Desert Eagle. However, still at this point, I think eL'quvet should realise they're just going to have to save what they can. So alternate aTTaX finally making their mark on this game. They're going to take the 11-9 lead. And more importantly here, eL'quvet aren't going to be in the best of positions in terms of their money. We should see Hazing and eL'quvet hold onto these two guns. However, the rest of the team shouldn't really get that good of a buy. They don't really have a big losing bonus built up. So we might even see the rest of eL'quvet's eco, to be honest. It's probably best for them to just save, even with the two saved guns on their side. Yeah, taking a quick look, $2,000 each, I just think it's not enough for the Force. Especially when you're already 11-9 down, it will be such a huge risk to Force here. They're just going to have to save for the next round. And that's going to be fairly awkward in this one in terms of, do Hazing and eL'quvet want to try and force some fights at the start? Or do they want to try and even run down the clock and save the AWP and the M4 for the next round? It's going to be fairly difficult to do that, of course. So they will just force the fights as the M4 goes peeking. But eL'quvet won't get too much as a reward for his aggression. Just a bit of damage on towards Searson. In the meantime, ECFN and Tizian buddying up in towards apartments. And they will be able to gain control towards apps fairly easily. So it looks like the rest of aTTaX just going to be spread across the map. And making sure eL'quvet don't go for any aggression to start the round. Do you stream private, Talker? I'll sometimes commentate games on my own channel, but I don't really stream myself playing because my computer's pretty bad. I can get 60 FPS when I stream, however, that's not exactly great for playing. Alternate aTTaX here, taking this round fairly slowly. You can see though they've already got some presence towards A long, so they should be able to take this A site fairly easily, especially as now Sumdayoung is also rotating off at just the wrong time. You can see there a couple of smokes going off, but Hazing does have the AWP in towards pit. So if he could get a quick kill or two, maybe there's a chance. Molotov goes in, Hazing forced out by the flames. He has to reposition, and the one Molotov will shut him out of the round. The AWP is lost. And with the A site also being lost, it looks like eL'quvet should go crashing out of this round, although Dai did pick up an AWP for a second there in the midst of the smoke. And eL'quvet himself is the only man left, but he does have the rifle, so he could go for the save if he wants to. In the meantime, aTTaX pick up 2 AWPs for themselves. I was going to say that would be a bit strange on the T side of Inferno, so ECFN throws one away. It looks like eL'quvet is going to stick around here for a potential exit kill. Pete comes in, eL'quvet. Oh, how did neither player see each other there? Tizian crosses in towards T apps, and eL'quvet just turns away at the wrong time. So it will just be everyone saving what little they had at the end of the round. Rifles into this one, of course, for eL'quvet. And unfortunately for eL'quvet, they're not going to have the AWP into this round. And that's why I was saying it could have been worth Hazing saving that AWP depending on the position they were in. But when he was trying to hold the A site, not too much he could do. So here we go into round 22. This is a really important round for eL'quvet. If they lose this, they run the risk of being too far behind. And already Searson finds that opening kill. Hazing is going to try and play this off angle towards A. That can work fairly well. However, a lot of the times I have seen teams push out and clear that position, especially if they flash over the top. generally the flashes should blind that player. So it can be a fairly tricky position to play, and you see there, Hazing, after being boosted up earlier, decides to reposition over towards Library. So eL'quvet, they're going to commit 2 players to the B site, but unfortunately for them, the push is going to come in towards A, and this is going to be a very difficult hold for the 2 players here. eL'quvet certainly hears these steps. As the push comes forwards, alternate attacks are going to speed things up. eL'quvet gets 1 kill towards short, but it's just not enough. I think attacks there were always going to be massive favourites in terms of being able to take that A bomb site. And Hunden's going to plant in a slightly different position. I think he could probably get away with an even more open plant than that to make it even easier in the post plant, but it doesn't really matter because eL'quvet will not be going for the retake. And again, for what it's worth, a lot of what we've seen here from alternate attacks on Inferno has been fairly basic on their T side in terms of their executes towards the sites. However, they've been fairly well put together. They've been pushing at the same time. They've been lining up the nades. And considering this isn't one of aTTaX's most played maps, again, I've been fairly impressed to see they still have these executes lined up. Stefan trying to get an exit kill, but he goes down low. He's going to hold the angle, but Die does take him down. It looks like both guns will be saved for eL'quvet. Of course, aTTaX have so much money that it certainly was worth trying to deny those guns from being saved. However, at this point, let's see what eL'quvet invest into this round, because you can see Kiss does have a lot of money. He could certainly drop something for his teammates. And it looks like he will just drop a pistol. Hazing decided to full force, though. A little bit of miscommunication between the eL'quvet lineup there. Hazing invested all his money while the rest of the team just saved. And that's going to be fairly costly for Hazing into the next round. He shouldn't be getting a rifle. Unless, of course, eL'quvet win this one here. Alternate attacks already creeping their way up towards A long. They're letting Searson take the first fights, and he nearly gets that opening shot through. However, instead now, eL'quvet will just play back from the site. Push comes in, Hunden already overwhelming the first, and ECFN finds a frag himself. eL'quvet only good for 1 kill on the holds, and so yet again, alternate attacks go for a fairly basic push, but they're finding success in these A plays. They're just successfully trading with each other really nicely and overwhelming the CT side. Of course, it wasn't against a full buy there, but there were a couple of eL'quvet players with the rifles. And so alternate attacks now with the 14-9 lead must be feeling good about their chances, even though they are up against a full buy here from eL'quvet. They've still got a 5-round lead. So eL'quvet now themselves, again, remember eL'quvet started this game really strong. They were 6-1 up at one point, but their CT side has been non-existent so far. However, maybe these double AWPs will make a difference as Die misses that opening kill towards mid. And instead, it's still Searson finding the first frag for the T side with the AWP. And where was that kill from Tizzy? And that was over in towards apartments. eL'quvet finds a frag back as Tizian sticks around for a wee bit too long in towards apps. Young is trying to peer over the top of this smoke because he is by himself on the B site. So he's attempting to get some earlier information. However, as he sees the nades go over the top, I'm sure he is aware it's likely to be a B push, and the flash does all it needs to for aTTaX. It blinds up Young for just a second, really. However, he was out in the open. And so now eL'quvet might just go crashing out of Inferno. And to be fair to eL'quvet, they have had to deal with a really strong T side from aTTaX. aTTaX have just been using teamwork, pushing together, and finding those entry kills when they've needed. And also, Searson has been really solid at just finding that first kill with the AWP a fair few times. I really do think Searson has been the key man for aTTaX in terms of turning this game around, especially on the CT side as well, where he did find a fair few frags. eL'quvet spraying them down, gets a triple kill out of that position. And there goes Die to find the final frag. So aTTaX will not save any guns into this upcoming round. However, of course, aTTaX still have plenty of cash built up from so many round wins. So again, certainly worth aTTaX there, trying to deny the save from eL'quvet. No reason not to when you have that much money built up. And so we're going to head into what could potentially be the last round, of this first map. Die going to peek out towards mid. Flash comes in, and eL'quvet is going aggressive here. There's the first kill, and Hunden in all kinds of trouble. It's eL'quvet and Die between them to both find a frag each. And so now aTTaX's response will be to push the A site. And with the push having come down mid, that will allow aTTaX to get the bomb planted. And with Tizian finding that frag towards A long, there's every chance they could still close this one out. Hazing, though, gets good timing before the smoke blooms. He spots out Tizian. And so now Stefan and ECFN have to hold this retake off. Flash coming in, does blind up a couple of players, and there's still one more Molotov to be deployed. They won't expect eL'quvet to already have pushed up, and that allows him 2 easy kills. Does anyone know the prize pool for the main tournament? Yeah, it's $40,000, I believe, in the actual tournament itself. Yeah, $40,000 prize pool. 20k for first place as well. It's not to be sniffed at. Of course, the main tournament's still fairly far away for both of these teams, though. The winner of this matchup here will go up against Passions for a spot in the qualifier. For a spot, sorry, at the LAN at Minsk. Either way, alternate aTTaX still have the buy into this round, and they still have to close out this map. And with Die going aggressive, he could get the opening pick, but missing that shot means he's out in the open. And that's the risk of playing so aggressively there with the AWP. I really don't like that decision from Die. Thought all semi-finalists qualified? No, the way it worked is that the teams that finished top of their groups got straight through and qualified straight away. And so the winner of the 2 semi-finals will take the other 2 spots. And then there's 2 more teams still yet to be invited. Some Die Young gets that headshot through the smoke, spraying away. Alternate aTTaX certainly made some noise towards top mid, so might as well try the spray. And he gets rewarded for it. Kiss here with the AWP holds towards Banana, and Searson cannot find that entry. So now the rest of alternate aTTaX are going to group up towards Banana. But with Kiss still here holding this position, they need to smoke him off. Flash is not going to be good. Kiss finds another frag, going for the repeak. And Kiss continues to shut down the B play. Such an easy 4 frags for Kiss, as he just peeks out one by one, dismantling the push from aTTaX. So eL'quvet have got a fresh lease of life here, finding themselves a couple of rounds in a row. And more importantly, forcing aTTaX back down to only pistols for this upcoming round. For what it's worth there, aTTaX, again, they did try and use their utility. You saw the flashbang coming in, but Kiss was holding such a tight angle that it's really difficult to blind him up with a flash. It just went slightly too far, and so he didn't get blinded. And that means that now, as I was saying, aTTaX with just pistols shouldn't have too much of a chance in this round at least. Looks like they're going to try and explode on towards this A site, but there are still 4 players holding towards A. Here comes the push. Tizian gets that first frag. The Glock pushing in. The flashes are so good. And aTTaX have themselves a chance here. They have the 2-man advantage now. This has gone horribly wrong for eL'quvet on the A hold. The flashes were very, very well placed. And so now alternate aTTaX have the man advantage after the bomb goes down. This will be a brutal way for eL'quvet to lose out on this first map. Smoke comes in. Searson trying to play around that smoke. The Molotov will force him forwards, but Searson finding this off angle to get the frag. And Kiss, the only man left, has to desperately push through with just a pistol in hand. And that will allow ECFN to spray him down with the Desert Eagle and give alternate attacks the first map going their way. 16-11 in their favour for the first map of this best of 3. And remember, this was eL'quvet's map pick. So heading into the second map that will be Overpass, I am sure that aTTaX will be liking their chances. Either way, we're going to have to see if aTTaX can close out this series 2-0. Because eL'quvet certainly put up a fight here on Inferno. We will be back with the second map after the break.